and I just thought it was a joke.
From elbowing people out of the photo ops to laughing during serious moments, here are 15 times Meghan Markle stunned the world with her bizarre behavior. Subscribe and stick to the end because it gets progressively disturbing. The Wimbledon moment.
White suit blazer, jeans, and heels. She looked happy and relaxed.
After attending Wimbledon in 2019 to support Serena Williams, Meghan Markle reportedly demanded the seats around her be completely empty, creating a weird no-photo zone in a public area. Fans were waiting in line for hours and were ultimately turned away from their paid seats. Security even approached a man and scolded him for taking a photo, except he wasn't even photographing Meghan at all, he was just taking a selfie. The entire situation created such unnecessary drama and left all the spectators confused about why sitting in a public venue at a public sporting event needed such extreme measures. If she wanted to support Serena Williams, maybe she should have taken a different cabin, but no, she wanted all the benefits of being in public while avoiding the public itself. Paris Fashion Week.
During the Balenciaga fashion parade in Paris this week, yes, she quickly recovered there. Meghan, that is, not the model.
But everything stands pale in comparison to the Paris Fashion Week, where cameras caught Meghan Markle laughing when a model stumbled on the runway. Usually, this happens, and it's one of the most normal things in the world of modeling. But for Meghan, it was a laughing gag. She even turned to the person beside her, clearly excited, expecting them to join in the joke. However, they kept a straight face, and that's when Meghan's smile instantly vanished. The irritation was so visible on her face, she genuinely seemed annoyed that her companion didn't even find the model's mishap funny. It was an uncomfortable moment that revealed how Hollywood's sense of humor doesn't always translate well in formal settings, or maybe it was just Meghan who was way too unhinged for something like the Paris Fashion Week. Polo trophy grab. We all know that Prince Harry loves polo, and this moment happened after one of Harry's polo wins in Florida. Meghan was filmed reaching for a teammate's trophy during the photo session. The player politely but firmly pulled it back, but Meghan awkwardly ducked under the raised arm, trying to stay in the frame anyway. It looked less like a supporting wife celebrating her husband and more like someone who is desperately trying to insert herself in the photograph so that she could be in one of the legendary photos for herself. Even when it's clear that someone else's achievement and someone else's trophy, Meghan just couldn't resist grabbing for the spotlight. Autism Acceptance Night. But here's where things got even worse. At a Vancouver Canucks hockey game on Autism Acceptance Night, Meghan was caught on camera, smiling and smirking, while the autistic singer Mariah Wright performed the Canadian national anthem. The camera panned towards Meghan Markle, who was laughing at something while Prince Harry stood quietly beside her. The optics here were quite terrible, to be honest. Whether she was laughing at a private joke or something else entirely, the timing made it appear as if she was laughing at the singer herself. It appears completely tone-deaf and disrespectful during what should have been a respectful, inclusive moment that she was attending. The HIV support group. You thought the autism acceptance speech was the worst moment of her life? Not really. In 2019, Meghan Markle decided to visit South Africa to attend an HIV support group because HIV is quite common in Africa. There, a woman was sharing an incredibly emotional and personal story about being forced into an arranged marriage as a teenager, discovering that she was HIV positive during the pregnancy, delivering a healthy baby, and still losing that child anyway. Instead of listening respectfully to that powerful testimony, Meghan interrupted the woman mid-sentence and told everyone to sit on the floor for the photo opportunity. In other words, she didn't even acknowledge with a quick, "Oh, I am so sorry that happened to you," before focusing entirely on arranging people together for a camera. To make matters worse, after the photos were taken, Meghan didn't even listen and left. What makes the matter even worse is that she had donated second-hand clothes stuffed in a garbage bag without even giving the grieving mother a hug. The entire interaction felt more like fame-grabbing with transactions and a staged photo op than compassion or even humanitarian work. Elbowing people at Hamilton event.
Psycho bitch smile.
At this point, Meghan should be in the UFC because of her elbowing game. She even puts John Jones to shame. During the 2018 Hamilton charity performance at Victoria Palace Theatre in London, Meghan was caught on camera, elbowing a man out of the way so she could position herself at the front for photos. The move was quite quick, but quick enough. She was surrounded by guests and officials, and she made it absolutely certain that she needed to be sent in every single shot, completely disregarding the royal protocol about proper positioning. Instead of waiting for her turn in the established order, Meghan physically pushed her way forward, leaving the man visibly startled and confused. Invictus Games Laugh Walk. Let's go towards the Invictus Games now, which was an event specifically honoring injured veterans. Meghan once again showed so much disrespect to the camera that it surprised everyone. She walked ahead of every veteran being celebrated, smiling broadly and laughing the entire time. It was supposed to be a solemn, respectful moment of recognition for the servicemen and women who had sacrificed so much for the country. Yet she treated it like a red carpet premiere, where everyone else maintained serious and composed composure while she grinned, glanced around to look for the cameras, and seemingly seemed unserious for the entire tone of the event. It came across as incredibly disrespectful, as if she had forgotten where she was and that she was supposed to be honoring the people. You thought you saw it all? Subscribe because Meghan's behavior is about to take a steep curve from this moment forward. Snapping at her mother. During one of the public events that were captured on camera, Meghan was speaking to her mother, Doria, who suddenly joined the conversation. That's where her face changed instantly and her head quickly turned. Her eyes were wide open and she had a half-frozen smile. It was an unmistakable look, something like, "Did you really just interrupt me?" She looked completely thrown off and visibly struggled to collect herself afterwards. The tension on her expression spoke volumes about how she was feeling, and even with her own mother, Meghan clearly didn't appreciate having to share the stage or even the attention. Interaction with children. There came a royal event in 2019 when Meghan was photographed, surrounded by the children, and her expression told the entire story once again. Her jaw was tight, and her eyes were narrowed, and she looked completely uninterested in the thing that was going on. In other words, she was absolutely annoyed by their presence. This wasn't an isolated incident either. During her 2016 visit to Rwanda, there were photos of her where she stared at children with a similar expression of impatience and discomfort. She frequently promotes herself as a devoted mother and humanitarian, but her body language, on the other hand, when it comes to children, tells a very different story. She appears uncomfortable, as if children are nothing more than a distraction rather than a focus on the charity itself. She always seems disturbed, flirting at Invictus Games.
And here we have it. Look at Meghan loving it. She's loving it. Random thing, to me
Let's move back to the Invictus Games. In that event, Meghan walked directly towards the husband of Colombia's vice president and began what seemed to be flirting with him. She started rubbing his back while smiling and chatting far too closely for a formal diplomatic setting. The vice president, who initially had her back turned, sensed that something was wrong. Everyone's serious problem. Do you think she was just existing? Or did it seem too close for an event like that? Let us know in the comments down below. Sticking her tongue out. Another absurd moment where Meghan Markle completely took everyone by surprise was at Prince Charles's 70th birthday garden party. Meghan was reportedly overheard complaining that she was bored, and it wasn't even quite either. Multiple people nearby heard her expression of dissatisfaction when Camilla politely reminded her that the royal protocol required Harry to walk ahead of her in the procession. Meghan's response was quite childish. She pulled a face behind Camilla's back and actually stuck her tongue out in public at a royal formal event. Moments later, King Charles apparently had enough of her and had even whispered to Harry that their car was ready. They were being asked to leave. This wasn't Meghan choosing to leave early. She was just being shown the exit after the wedding and after her disrespectful behavior at the prince's birthday. Mindy Kaling situation. Next up is another weird encounter on camera. In a behind-the-scenes clip from Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary, Meghan corrected her friend Mindy Kaling about her name. Mindy casually referred to her as Meghan Markle, and Meghan's response was quite defensive. She said, "It's funny that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. You have kids, and you share your name with your children. I don't know how many it would be, but it means so much to me. This is our family name." This was the response that she gave to Mindy Kaling. Her tone wasn't friendly or conversational. It was a correction delivered with an edge. It felt like even her close friends could never stop taking the wrath that she would often give to them. Every word is clearly monitored by Meghan Markle, even if it's her closest friends. Pushing Dr. Sophie aside. When it comes to pushing people, Meghan is the master of it. At the Royal Salute Polo Challenge, after Prince Harry's team won, Meghan was caught on camera telling St. Bell charity chairwoman Dr. Sophie Chandauka to move from her position next to Harry during the trophy presentation. Meghan physically directed Dr. Sophie to stand aside so Meghan herself could be positioned at the center of the photo. The charity event that was supposed to honor the cause and celebrate Team Harry's victory, Meghan made it all about herself, and that she was in front and center of every shot. British Fashion Awards. At the 2018 British Fashion Awards, Meghan Markle shocked the guests and organizers by taking over the presentation duties. That was for Rosamund Pike, right in the middle of the show. According to witnesses, the event had already been fully scripted and rehearsed with Pike as the designated presenter, but at the last moment, Meghan inserted herself into the program unannounced. Organizers had scrambled to adjust a rundown on the fly. Meghan walked onto the stage and just took control. Sit on the floor incident. The last moment on our list is from the same South African charity movement. Meghan insisted that all women would sit on the floor for the group photo, despite the fact that sitting on the floor is culturally associated with mourning in some African communities. Many of the women look visibly uncomfortable, but Meghan seemed entirely focused on achieving the aesthetic she wanted for the photograph. The footage showed her directing participants like a photographer, arranging models rather than engaging with them, and even showing cultural sensitivity. And there you have it. 15 moments where Meghan Markle's behavior on camera raised serious concerns. Which moment was the most uncomfortable for you? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell icon for more.